Now, a war of words in the case against Casey. The prosecution and the defense trade verbal blows as a judge decides whether or not there is a conflict of interest in this case. Casey's attorney, Jose Baez, accused prosecutors of trying to interfere with his work, saying he's trying to defend this case, and it got very heated on both sides. Mike DeForest was in court for today's hearing. Mike, first of all, we may never know how Casey Anthony is paying her lawyers.
That's right. Jose Baez says his financial arrangement with Casey is confidential. Today, a judge looked into the matter and found that there was no wrongdoing on Baez's part, but the judge was quite annoyed at some courtroom bickering.
You say there are no other agreements selling my story, and that's true?
Yes.
Does any literary rights fee agreement exist between you and Mr. Baez?
No.
Speaking directly to the judge, Casey Anthony swears under oath that her lawyer, Jose Baez, is not profiting off any book or movie deals. Following a brief, confidential meeting behind closed doors with Casey and her attorneys, the judge determined that there is nothing improper about the way Casey's defense team is being funded. Prosecutors were concerned Casey could later appeal her case on those grounds.
This was just a motion to determine whether a conflict existed. My finding is it does not.
They need to be worried about their conviction more so than their post-convictions, especially in a situation where I see every day evidence that points to my client's innocence.
That statement from Baez angered prosecutor Jeff Ashton.
We have sat through hearing over hearing after hearing in this case where defense counsel has used the podium as an exhibit to make comments to the press that have nothing to do with this.
The judge interrupted that argument.
Concerned about the leaks we've had.
But minutes later, when Baez questioned whether prosecutors were leaking information to the media, Ashton and then the judge vented their frustration.
We don't need to be reminded of our ethical obligations, and that's pretty... I'm sorry. Yes, we understand.
Thank you. That's it.
No, I'm not.
You know what?
This is getting old. Yes, it is. I'm getting tired of it.
The judge there clearly irritated by all the bickering going on among the attorneys there. After the hearing, someone asked Jose Baez about that little altercation. Baez said, quote, "I don't think I should comment on the prosecutor's temper tantrums." Yet another zinger in this war of words that's likely going to get nastier. Reporting live in Orange County, Mike DeForest, Local 6.
And Mike, back to the issue about how Casey's paying for her defense team. Does the judge's decision prevent Casey from someday appealing her case if she thinks her attorney did something wrong?
Well, anything is possible, especially if this case is appealed. But the purpose of this hearing today was for the judge to take a look at this financial arrangement. We don't know how much he looked into it, but the judge put it on record that he felt that there was no type of conflict of interest. And so if Casey is convicted, if she does end up appealing on those grounds, at least an appellate court will be able to see that the original trial judge in this tried to address the matter. Jackie.
A lot of fireworks today. All right, Mike, thank you.
Down the road from the courthouse, one of the Anthony's former private investigators was questioned for more than 3 hours. Jim Hoover was answering questions in the civil case against Casey Anthony. Attorney John Morgan is representing Zenaida Gonzalez. She claims she was defamed by Casey Anthony. Today, Hoover spoke to the media for the first time and admitted he'd tried to sell items to the media.
What about the videotape of Dominic Casey in the woods? Apparently you had tried to sell that to several media outlets.
No, that's not true. That's not true. What was for sale that particular night was the still pictures that Dominic had. I hadn't told anybody that before.
The Anthony's other private investigator, Dominic Casey, was a no-show. He was scheduled to be deposed today. John Morgan says he may ask a judge to find him in contempt of court.